Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got a video by Austin Sweat titled Ranking the Greatest Point Guard from Every NBA Team for 2021. And let me say, man, huge props, huge respect to him for doing this, because anytime you do any sort of ranking video about any position in the NBA, you are opening yourself up to straight up hate, man, just because we all got different opinions. We're all different fans of different players and teams and stuff like that. But I will say, I don't think it's going to bowl very well for Detroit basketball, man. We might be listed 30th right here, and I'm trying to think who the best point guard on the Pistons is. I think in theory it's Killian Hayes, but this season it's probably been Corey Joseph, I guess. I don't know, man. Let's check this out. Link to his channel description below, by the way.
Backed by popular demand, we're ranking the best point guard from every NBA team in the 2021 NBA season.
Let's do it!
I debated whether or not to continue this series onto this year, but it's been requested a lot recently, so here it is. The support for these videos usually falls off by the time we get to the center position though, so make sure to show support on these videos.
You gotta show that support, guys. Go subscribe, go like, go do that all.
30. We got the Pistons.
Damn!
Joseph. Nothing too exciting, just like the Pistons. 29.
Okay! That comment was not needed, bro.
Magic with Markelle Fultz. The Magic have been looking rough recently.
Bro, I thought he was going to get most improved this year.
Been injured. But when healthy, Markelle still isn't great.
Man, I'm angry now. I'm angry.
Spot. 28. The Clippers with Rajon Rondo. Now, Rondo's not currently starting over Patrick Beverley, but I still have him as the better overall player. For number 27, we got the Knicks with Derrick Rose, and this is by far the lowest D Rose has ever ranked in one of my point guard rankings.
That's crazy.
With Detroit being terrible and now him being off the bench for the Knicks, it's produced a rough year for him compared to the past few. Hopefully he bounces back though, and if he doesn't,
he's been pretty decent, I thought, hasn't he?
Quickly to maybe take the spot down the line. For 26, we have the Bulls and Kobe White, and honestly,
yeah,
I did expect
D-Rose
Kobe
over
to have
Kobe
a bigger
White
year than he is currently. He's averaging just about the same numbers this year as a starter as he was last year when he came off the bench. But seeing that it's the Bulls, it isn't surprising that something like this is happening. For number 25, it goes to the Cavs for Darius Garland, because he's technically been playing point guard while Colin Sexton's been playing shooting guard this year. And you really don't hear Garland's name talked about too much, but for only being in year 2, he's shown a ton of progress.
He dropped 37
we'll give it to the Spurs for DeJounte Murray. The Spurs have been all over this while still being elite on defense. He's taken a huge leap on offense, and one that I didn't know if he could.
My headset was broke for a
that play with his style usually don't. But now that he's shown that he's capable, his future's very bright. At 23, we got the Miami Heat and Goran Dragic. Kendrick Nunn's been starting for Miami, but Dragic is still by far the better
Depot was playing point guard. He's listed as point guard in 2K. I don't know if that means anything.
He kind of reminds me of a Tony Parker type player, and that's why he's worth every bit of his $18 million contract. For number 22, it goes to the Pelicans and Lonzo Ball, and 22 seems pretty low for Lonzo considering how well he's played recently, but there's just still a lot of great players ahead of him. And even though he's shown major improvements,
yeah, point guard's probably the deepest spot, isn't it, overall?
Other guys, like Dennis Schroeder at 21 for the Lakers, and Schroeder went from being on a bad team last year
I'm gonna take Lonzo
as the runner-up for
Sixth
Man of the Year to a starter on the defending champ Los Angeles Lakers, and he has not disappointed. He's come in and done exactly what he's been expected to. He's a great player, and for everyone that's gonna say LeBron should have ranked as the Lakers point guard, he played point last year. They had no other one in the starting lineup.
Point forward,
but now
right?
They do, so he's transitioned back to small forward, or more of a point forward like he's always been. At number 20, it goes to LaMelo Ball from the Hornets. LaMelo's been the player Lonzo was supposed to be, and even as a rookie, he ranks higher because it's been clear.
See, I kind of disagree on that statement. I feel like LaMelo and Lonzo, their style of plays are completely different. I mean, Lonzo is definitely more like defensive oriented, stuff like that, and he's been doing good on defense and rebounding the basketball and stuff, where LaMelo is probably more of the overall like volume scorer.
He's already the better player. It's not a surprise though, even since he was younger, Lonzo has said that Melo was the most skilled and would be the best out of the 3 brothers. I am surprised though that he's been so good so quick, and at this rate, I got no doubt that he's gonna be a superstar in no time. The Thunder then take the 19th spot with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's had a very quiet year since OKC's in a complete
he was shooting guard last year.
I gotta say, their starting lineups recently have been some of the worst in NBA history, but this year has still been easily the best personal one of his career, with him averaging 23, 6, and 5 on 40% from 3. It looks like it's going to get cut short due to injuries, but it's great to see the kind of progress with him, even post Chris Paul. 18, the Wolves and D'Angelo Russell. Man, Minnesota's been so bad this year. They have been bad,
but they've been injured so much. I read something words like D'Lo Edwards and Cat, like the past 5 games, they've been averaging like 25, 30 points a game apiece or something like that. It's been absolutely crazy. Like, they've been scoring the basketball
First overall
lately.
picks and a second overall pick in Russell on the team, and they still suck. And even though Russell was an all-star just 2
they
years
barely have
ago,
played
the fact
together.
that his team's been this bad only hurts his rankings, no matter how good he really is. And same goes for John Wall at 17 for the Rockets.
John Wall,
Even though
man.
he's surprised a
You guys
lot
remember
of
the John
people
Wall
and turned a
dance?
lot of heads with how good he's been since his return, for the amount of talent Houston has had, and for them to be as bad as they are, with Wall leading the way, it does make him look bad. Personally, he's doing good, but as a team leader, not so much.
Still
And
a
again,
bitch-ass
same thing
contract.
One more time for De'Aaron Fox at 16 for the Kings. He's having the best year of his career, putting up 24 and 7, but he's never going to rank any higher without leading the Kings to a better record. This is his 4th year in the NBA, and they still have never even been close to making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they'd be kind of
And I
trash
know
at
most of
drafting.
This is the Kings'
No, I guess they got
fault, but
Tyrese
you can only make
Halliburton.
a guy so high that has never had a winning season. It was Devin Booker's problem before this year. The same can't be said though for John
Kyrie's
Morant
been nice.
for the Grizzlies at 15, because while they haven't had great seasons with him, he clearly has made a difference and made Memphis a better team than they would have been. And I don't know if
Well, damn, last year he was a rookie. Didn't he take him to the playoffs? I think they got to the playoffs, right? It was either there or they were like fighting for a playoffs, but I know they were like in the play-in game or something.
I see him becoming a star or more of like a Mike Conley type player, but either way, he definitely deserves the number 15 spot for now. At 14, the Celtics take it with Kemba Walker, and this is probably the lowest Kemba is ranked in one of these videos.
Knee
Don't
injury
get me
been
wrong,
slowing him.
14's still good, but it's also the first year he hasn't been an all-star since I've started making these, and it's because he's still struggling to adjust to his new team, and it makes sense. He was the best player on his team for most of his NBA career, and now he's had to adjust to being the 3rd best player in Boston
Exactly.
and taking a big back seat. If he figures things out though, maybe he'll still rank higher down the line. The 13th spot goes to the Pacers and
TJ
Malcolm
McConnell?
Brogdon.
Oh, Brogdon.
I'm still a big fan of Malcolm, and he's been drastically better this year than last, and still very underrated as a player. It's just unfortunate Indiana's not playing as good as they should be this season. Then at 12, we have the
Injuries.
Jazz and Mike Conley. And I know this ranking probably seems a little high, but Conley's on the team with the best record in the league. He was a first-time All-Star this year, and giving the Jazz exactly what they need from him.
He was
He's
one of
always
them
been
sorta
that type of
all-stars.
player. He's the perfect
Sorta
fit as
all-stars.
Utah's point guard. He struggled for them last year, but now without
No
a doubt deserves
disrespect.
to be ranked here at number
Should've got one
12.
before.
Same could be said for the Toronto Raptors at 11, whose best point guard is obviously Kyle Lowry. And this season's been terrible for them as expected.
You about
They lost
Malachi
Serge
Flynn?
Ibaka and Marc Gasol, and they've played the entire season in Tampa Bay. Basically every single game for them has been an away game, and they've basically been living in hotels for the entire year, which is why if this season has
That
been
does
unfair
suck.
to
Wow.
anyone, it's been this team. Lowry still had a good season though, and he's been reliable enough for the past decade.
So have they
that
not been home? Bro, that would suck, man. Like, no wonder they're not playing great. Like, can you imagine? Like, what if you live in Toronto? That's where your house is. You just can't go there. I've not really put that into perspective. That really does suck.
one bad year really isn't going to hurt his
Dang.
ranking too bad.
I ain't gonna roast the
10,
Raptors.
The Bucks and Drew Holiday, and it's been awesome to see Drew finally getting to show what he can do on a real playoff.
That payday,
team.
though, that
Milwaukee
contract,
Giannis really
hey.
couldn't have asked for a better addition to this team. He brings exactly what they need on offense
Huge
and
payday.
defense, and assuming he takes on a big role in the playoffs, the Bucks starters could look very different this year. It's just weird though. Even on one of the best teams in the league, Holiday is still underrated. 9. The Wizards and Russell Westbrook. Now I feel weird about this one. This is by far the lowest Russ has ranked in one of these videos. He usually ranks between the 3 and 5 spots, and honestly I feel like he should be ranked lower. Within the top 10 at number 9 seems kinda high. Yes,
Think so?
he currently is averaging a 25 point per game triple-double,
Yup.
but the Wizards added him to this team while making
Won an MVP getting a triple-double. Man, it's so crazy just how, like, the NBA changes. Like, literally, if he was doing this for the first time, man, we'd be talking about him being a damn top 5 point guard, but because we've gotten so used to Russell getting triple-doubles, and I understand the whole, like, it's not leading to wins things, but, I mean, I don't remember, but when he won the MVP, how'd the Thunder do that year record-wise? I don't really remember, but, yeah, it's crazy how things change, and just, like, how we get used to, like, greatness and stuff.
very little other changes from last season, and they're now on pace to finish with just about the same exact record. Don't get me wrong, the Wizards still
Triple-double's
suck,
the
and
new
it's mostly
double-double.
their fault too, but Russ has got to add at least a few wins. Number 8 is the Nuggets and Jamal Murray, and I was getting a little worried when the season started so slow for Denver, but it's been good to see them bounce back. Jokic should win MVP this year, and that's helped Jamal elevate to the best year of his career. I don't know when it'll happen, but sooner or later, this man is going to become an all-star. Then at number 7,
Man, I feel so bad for Jamal Murray right now, man. By the way, over on my main channel, Crispy Flicks, I did do a reaction to his injury, so if you want to check that out, sucks.
7, we got Trae Young for the Hawks.
Trae at 7.
Lost
Hey,
a
that's
lot
some
of the hype that he
respect.
had from last year. Last season, he was an all-star
That's some
starter,
respect.
and this year he didn't even make the team. The Hawks were a bad team his first year, then they made some huge offseason moves, and they were still bad, and that's where things went south for his reputation. And it seems like everyone just really ignored all the injuries this team really had. Either way, though, I'm not giving up on Trae just yet, because they have started to turn things
Same
around
case for
and
the
are in the
D'Lo,
playoff
though,
picture
on
again.
the
Ben
Minnesota.
Simmons takes number 6 for the 76ers, and there was literally no difference between Ben Simmons' game this year and last, so I'm not even going to say anything
Maybe even
about
better
it.
defense.
At 5, though, we have Luka for the Mavs, and Luka Doncic really
Luka
still
at
couldn't
5.
be playing any better. And the Mavs are trying to do everything they can to get him a championship team, and it's going to take that to happen to improve his
Seems kinda
ranking
low.
anymore above the guys ahead of him. Sadly, though, Dallas isn't even close just yet. Number 4, the Suns and Chris Paul.
CP3!
And okay, I know it seems weird to rank CP3 above Luka's 28, 8, and 8, and above some of the other guys, but Chris has single-handedly taken the Suns from 10th in the West last year to 2nd this year, above the Lakers and the Clippers. And by
I don't know if it was
single-handedly,
single-handedly, but
he was the
he's
only
been a
big
big part
addition
of
to his
it.
team, and now they're this much better. While the Thunder have fallen from 5th in the West last year to now 13th without him. Then in the 3 spot, we got James Harden for the Nets. You were probably expecting Kyrie Irving,
was.
and he would have also landed in this number 3 spot. But they really have swapped positions this year, and James Harden couldn't possibly be any better. To watch how he takes over games for Brooklyn without Kyrie and KD on the court is insane. For them to have had a rocky start to the season, and then he gets there and instantly turns things around for them,
He has been
bringing them
amazing.
to first in the East without
He has been
KD,
amazing.
and an entirely new system for him puts him right up there with anybody in MVP talks. At the 2 spot, it's Damian Lillard, and no discussion needed. He's been in this spot for years and is still somehow only getting better. And at
Damian
1,
or James
Steph
Harden, guys,
Curry,
let me know in the
also
comments.
nothing needs to be said. Some of these guys have been closing in on this gap with Steph, though, especially with how bad the Warriors have been. But I still think it's not even close just yet. And these rankings are hard to come up with, and no matter how much thought I put into it, they're always controversial because everyone's opinions are different.
Yeah, and that's a fair statement. I think as long as like the information being like put out there is accurate and stuff like that, that I think anybody's ranking, for the most part, for like 99% of the time, is like that's just like that's their ranking. That's completely fine. The only one listen, I'm sure there's a lot that I would disagree with. Like if I saw the list, like listed out in front of me and stuff, just because like my opinion is gonna be different from anybody else's. But the only one I'm thinking just a little bit too harsh on maybe is D'Lo, and that's strictly because of. He's not really played a lot with the T-Wolves and Cat yet in general, just because of injuries and everything, and other guys going out with injury. We've still never really seen a fully healthy T-Wolves roster, so that's my only really big opinion on it, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you guys all think. Check out Austin's channel description below, and peace out, guys.